So, well, the result of this workshop was to give some and also initial information to farmers, or maybe they are not very, they don't have a lot of knowledge about this kind of tools. So this is our initial idea. So also how the meeting is recorded, I will explain this, and then I will focus in the tool, and that we will, okay. So this is maybe the first part is boring for you, because I think a lot of or everybody of you knows about the carbon markets and so on. Yeah, like I said, I try to introduce to online people or to working. Okay. So well, I will one of the purpose of the session I already speak about it. I will explain what is the carbon credit and carbon market. I will explain the types of carbon markets. What is the theater of the carbon markets? Also, when we started this project, we are technological partners, so we don't have a lot of information about this idea. Also, with the help of Tristano and Sael, we get the introduction. Also, Tristano make a showcase about he did a meet to explain all the partners about the tools and so on. So he also explained these key actors in the teams. Also, we talked about the role of agriculture in the carbon market. We will focus in how the carbon market works, the benefits of the farmers, and how what we have did, what other kinds of tools are related to also this. And also, I didn't do this presentation in this slide because I used that a little bit. I also introduced a new kind of credits that for me in this moment are also very interesting, that are related to carbon credit, but maybe it's very interesting for farmers and for the sustainable management of the farms. So, well, the idea of this session is try to explain how it works, how farmers can get some extra benefits from the fields, and guide the participants to start using this kind of tools. For example, here we have economy of law. It's a good example that I think everybody or maybe a lot of people knows about it, but it's a great tool that also we need to suggest to the people from here to use this kind of tools and use these sustainable management of the farms to get some carbon sequestration and get a little bit of more extra economy. So, well, what is the carbon market? It's a system designed to combat the pollution, climate change, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and the idea is for each ton of carbon dioxide, you get one carbon credit, and the idea is that some enterprise or some voluntary people can change this kind of credits to save the planet or the environmental causes, because maybe some enterprise, because of some regulations in some countries, not so here, but for example, in maybe as you know, Europe has a lot of regulation about this. So if your enterprise have a lot of gas emissions, a lot of things, you will need to compensate some carbon. So this is the idea of these tools called carbon maximums.
Everybody wants to have questions or comments in between or not, or rather at the end?
As you want.
Well, because if you go back to your objective,
Yeah.
The interesting thing is, of course, that essentially we know now that the carbon credit market does not lead at all to emission reductions. Because it does not stimulate companies to reduce emissions. It stimulates them to doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because then they can somewhere buy credits, and compensate. So there is an internal inconsistency in the whole system.
Yeah, it's a good problem. Yeah, really, you are right. Yeah. As you see, it's just the idea of trying to compensate this carbon emission, but also is a little bit outside the agriculture field. For example, there are some methodologies that if you build, for example, a motor with electrical something, also it's a methodology, and also it gives you carbon credits. So it depends a little bit. You are right, but also there are some methodologies to try to change the things that have a lot of pollution now and move to other new things. Also give you carbon credits. So this is why one of the important fields of the carbon credits is the energy, that you are not using gas, or you are not using carbon, and you are using solar energy. It also gives you this kind of credits.
May I ask one question?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, maybe that we are discussing later, what are your thoughts on carbon credit certification? Now there's a monopoly of VERA or gold standard globally, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Only their certifications are usually accepted. I mean, if somebody in Cambodia sequesters 20 tons of carbon, CO2 equivalent, but if you want to really sell it in open market, you need to be certified. And those certifications are usually done by 2 or 3 agencies, or at least the global system currently is that only those certified by those entities are valid carbon credits, and only those carbon credits can be purchased in the carbon trading in the carbon market. So do we need to come out with a mechanism where we ourselves can certify based on some protocol, or we just do carbon sequestration and then take their certification? Of course, if you see, the certification is what the real cost is. The sequestration may be $100, but certification may be $90, and only we get a profit of $10. So what are your thoughts? Because I think that's the biggest. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this is the challenge that we face when we started to develop our carbon scheme in 2009. We worked with the city of Project, we worked with Gold Standard in 2016, and we start with validation and verification process. So Gold Standard have a list. You couldn't work with anyone, you should work with this list. And these people to come to you, they tell you that you should pay 50,000 euro in each type.
Yeah.
So when you look to your net profit for the product, nothing.
Yeah.
But Salem done that because Salem was a big organization and they didn't look to only the financial impact, but they look to have the first sustainability and to have the first certified carbon credit project in the middle. But from this challenge, we're looking into the smallholder farming for other regions who would like to have access from this carbon. We worked with the World Bank and was the financial authority in Egypt about the concept why we need to have a local carbon scheme. Why each country couldn't be able to have a local carbon scheme according to international standards, because all the people know the IPCC, know methodology, so there's no new issue to do. You already have all this practice. But if you make a local mechanism, have a local entity that is speak your same language, you can pay with your currency, you have a lot of efficiency for the process, you can dump that with your country. And that's what we are developing in Egypt, and inshallah I will present to you our platform that currently we have an Egyptian voluntary carbon market according to ECOA and IPCC and World methodology, but all the process is done locally. We have a local we have a local expert, we have a local consultant, and everything is done in Egypt. The farmer in Egypt is a carbon credit selling in the Egyptian stock exchange, so we can have a model of the local country carbon scheme, which is can solving all challenges and all the world is facing regarding this issue.
Yeah, this is a very, this model can be adopted by other countries.
So we can export this model, and essentially internationally we can propose that it's more beneficial to have a lot of small local carbon credit markets than one globally organized.
Exactly.
And it's so clear in this example.
So, just to understand well, you said that you have a volunteer carbon scheme that is a local scheme. So it's diverse compared to what Legit was talking. I mean, the global scheme for Verra, global standard. So you have your own scheme.
Yeah.
Is it correct? Because it's really interesting. If what I understood last time, now it's clear in my mind.
It's local development.
Local
It's
development.
done by the Egyptian. But the standard is international because carbon market have international requirements that all the people should follow this uncertainty, materiality, validated methodology. So economic development is used this international methodology, but it's developed by local and managed by local and sells this credit in the local voluntary carbon market.
I think it can be also applied regionally.
Yes.
Yeah. So sorry. So there is a third party agency that validate so all things and certificate the validity. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Validation.
Okay.
But with the Egyptian people, we worked to increase the efficiency of some consulting in Egypt to getting the ISO 14065 for validation verification of greenhouse gas emission. So now I'm going to get an external expert from outside with foreign currency, but we can make the validation internally.
Maybe one thing to add, so far, let's say around 90% of the clients who then buy the credits are still in Europe. And we're now very busy in developing, well, you continue.
Yeah, yes, it was one big achievement that the 90% of our buyer is outside Egypt. And a lot of people asked us how we convince this people. So we came away from Pakistan and buy from the Egyptians. And always my answer was two issues. Technically, that we can approve you are in international level, that you're using ISO, you're using IPCC, you're using the all of the new ways of measure, you have the same report, you have all of the issues same like with the certificate. But the second main issue is the story behind the carbon credit. When you speak with that the owner of the carbon credit not companies, not consulting, it's the small or the farmer. And 80% of the income of the carbon credit is go directly to the small farmer. So people would like to do that, people would like to support the real success stories and having on land. They didn't need to just say please.
Yeah.
And the third issue is a lot of I didn't see to see the interruption, but in the carbon market, this is big names.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's has the problem, not the small schemes.
Yeah.
If you look to this total standard and Vera, all the problem, all the big issue that happen in the market is back better to you, not for us, because you have a issue every year, 3, 4, 5 million of the carbon credit. No one say where is this carbon credits coming from here and here, coke stuff, I don't know. So it's a lot of issues that you don't not us. But we say we are a natural-based solution. We looking into avoidance, not removal, sorry, not avoidance, and we say this is one to go for the people who's already the climate change, who's facing a lot of challenges regarding climate change and really needs support. There's a food people in the world, smallholder farmer, and no one is supporting the smallholder farmer in all challenges that have to so this climate change is really need support, not the international companies that make renewable energy and others.
Yeah.
That's why we buy robotics bank in Germany, trade bank in Germany, AXA is associated with us, British embassy, King Charles' birthday yearly associated with economic Islam, Lebensbaum, Vileda for cosmetic in the world associated with us, Tera Institute, Amy Cafe, Amici Cafe is offset, Amici Cafe is offsetting with us. Concrete for garment and clothes is offsetting with us. So currently we have a good list of international buyers and trust in the story, not in the carbon, but they found the story, they already experienced.
What about having you been able to convince some oil and gas? Because they are moving in sustainability direction.
Yes. We have a.
That would be a great.
Yeah, actually, we worked with some on this company, but not to carbon market rates. So we didn't like to say they are reshade and greenwashing and this headache.
Yeah.
But was all in this, we have a clear vision that you could invest in upscaling organic agriculture. You can invest in natural-based solutions, not too precious carbon credit. And already we start one project with Eni company in Luxembourg, so they will support the civil countries for the farmer to transition to get organic. They will support to plant 100,000 trees in Luxembourg. They will support to install 600 kilowatts of renewable energy. So our message to all of the guys, not to look into the carbon credit, not to look into achieve your target, but you can invest really in natural-based solution. And this is with a guarantee for the audience, your client to read.
Yeah, I think that indeed, if you look at the big polluters in Egypt, you talk about the steel industry, Lafarge, cement, right? And some of the oil companies. And of course, they would be nice clients to have to buy a credit and reinvest that into agriculture in Egypt. So I think this is now also the phase that we're hunting those. The big polluters are cement and artificial fertilizers and steel and other.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, sorry. I didn't answer the question, but I think you do. But just a comment about that. I think also, well, Toraya said more or less, is also depends on regulations. So maybe here we have more flexible things. Maybe you know that in Europe it's very complicated in these moments in all the fields that there are 8 times more regulation about everything. So also I know about other projects about forest co-owners that I already talked with some people that are working also in Italy with creative methodologies without bare and well standard outside. Creative methodologies for carbon sequestration about the typical forest in this region that is unique, and there is also some biodiversity and so on, so they are creating these things. Also, we talked with another association in Finland, and they are doing the same. So there are more people that is working with Barra and gold standard doing their things, because they have some specific ecosystems that they maybe we cannot take a methodology of Barra and use it in this forest or in this field or in this ecosystem. So this is another thing, just to do something, answer this question a little bit. The carbon credits represents 1 ton of CO2, and is the unit of measurement. So how it generated, that we are talking about this. Also carbon sequestration, reforestation, renewable energy production, and some others. There are some stretch methodologies also if you check better about some things about motors and so on that try to change the engines to modify the pollution of these things. So we have the voluntary carbon market, and there are also in some regulation regulating market. So here in this regulating market, the systems are managed by government, and there are some pollution emission a limit. If you have more pollution than this, you need to buy carbon credits, and progressive. The idea is reduce your pollution to buying this kind of credits. And the other that is more focused also in a project is the voluntary carbon credits, is that individuals, companies, and organizations buy these credits to offset the emission, just because they want to help the environment. Also about Soraya says also for the stories to help some farmers or some forest owners and so on. Well, also here we have this kind of standard, and we already talked about it, the Vera and all standard. So I will be quickly because I'm pretty sure there will be more talking about. So, well, when we just in case, but we define Tristano from side helped us to define these key actors that are already defined in the literature, in the regulation, and so on. So we have the project operator that designs and implements the project. That will choose a methodology to eliminate greenhouse gas emissions and so on. Certification scheme that defines the standards and procedures to certify the emission. So this certification scheme is the system that creates the methodologies to reduce gas emissions. We have the certification body that issues an independent entity. Important is the idea of the independence. It should be a third party because you cannot have, for example, you cannot have the registry, the certification and validate and do you everything by yourself. The idea is that each role can do different things. And the certification body, as I say, is the entity that validates that the methodology is meets the standards established by the certification team. We are following the methodology finding for the project. The register, it can be, for example, we are talking the example of economy of law. It can be a tool or something when you put all these kind of all these steps. So you should track when the project is defined, when you choose a methodology, when the project is approved, when the carbon credit is created. So this will be the tool of the system that tracks all the things. For example, in the fast-forward plan project, we are using blockchain, but we can also do this without blockchain because there are tracks from all in other aspects of the life with this technology. And buyers, that will be the individual groups, companies, some people that purchase this carbon credit, and well, regulatory authority, in case that it's important here, the Far Climate. Like, well, maybe you don't know, but it's some Mediterranean projects, but it's also from the European Union. So we need to following the European Union regulatory. So this is why we are also introducing this idea. Well, the role of agriculture in the carbon market. So it can using this kind of methodologies and so on. They can have some benefits of selling these carbon credits. So they use some practical some sustainable practicals to practice to have some extra benefits, like generating these carbon credits to sell this to these people, to these companies and so on. And also they can sometimes using this kind of credit, they can have better soil improvement with another fertility, with retention, so also like we are talking about one positive impact. Well, the idea of how the carbon market works is the carbon credits are generated through the projects and reduce these greenhouse gas emissions, and using this implementation, this sustainable practice that I already mentioned, like cover cropping, reducing trees, agroforestry, etc. So on. And for this, we need to define. So in the project, we talk about this monitoring, reporting, and verification system to accurately measure this carbon reductions capture. So there are a lot of tools that we also develop in the project. That in this case we will talk about this. That we are for monitoring, reporting, and verification. Well, we are already talked about these two standards that are most famous, the BERRA and the gold standard. So here in this system, you can credits that they define, they have some methodologies, so you can use the methodologies. Next, I will show you one of them inside the project that we take from Vera to put in our project. And well, the process is related with certification bodies that verify the results, the certification scheme that define the rules, and the register that ensure the transparency and traceability. So in our project, for the idea of this commercialization, is operate like a market, connecting with farmers and buyers, investing in supporting some initiatives, and allow participants to sell their products. Okay. Well, benefits for farmers, just to say, additional income, improve agricultural productivity. Some of these methodologies also define some ideas to improve how to use some techniques to improve the productivity. Also, there are some regulatory complaints and opportunities that is a little bit connected that I commented before. That, for example, in other fields of technology, we have all the companies that is trying to. There are 2 points of view. You can, for example, in the United States and some other countries with a lot of money, China, India, the one that are very big, and there are a lot of markets, they use the no regulation to improve their incomes and so on. But also, a lot of companies, for example, iPhone, Apple, if he wants to sell something in Europe, they need to change their products to the regulation. For example, the last iPhone, there are not the same functionality in Europe that in the rest of the world. So also if we want in the future that all these carbon markets work in Europe, we should modify if we want to use locally, it's okay. But if we want to, for example, that economic law need to adapt to sell carbon credits in Europe for a specific purpose that is defined in a regulation, they maybe need to change some things to adapt to these laws. That is like a little bit problem, but this is our idea, because when we define this project, we put the carbon marketplace, the credit generation as our tool, but this is already exists. So what we really defined by this standard was trying to use our tool with this new regulation of the European Union to have this to maybe not using our tool, it's okay, maybe it will be an example to other tools to use to try to get all the ideas of the full regulatory of Europe to this carbon credit certification framework regulation to this kind of carbon marketplace tools. So what we have been in the project, we have created some monitoring, reporting, and verification system, digital tool to measure and verify carbon. Alfonso also has done some of them also in the 5.5 with the so on, we have all this kind of tools on a platform to have all these record activities, to collect data, to do interviews to farmers to get better practice to capture information from farmers with some surveys to get better knowledge about how are the sustainable practice and so on, and trying to cooperate with farmers in regions is also this kind of things in Italy, and also we have some sensor and monitoring technologies. Also, some of them are using Copernicus data, others local data to have carbon sequestration and measure the soil carbon in the soil, and so on. So what we implement? We implement this tool with blockchain that is not needed and it's also not defined in European regulatory, but it was one of the objectives of the project. So just without a lot of technical details, the idea of blockchain is a system where all the data is recorded in a lot of computers across the world. So all the computers store the same data, and you say, but this is not a very this is not a technology with a lot of pollution, a lot of carbon emission. Yes, it is, because you have a lot of computers with the same technology doing exactly the same. This is why it's very secure also, because all these computers are communicating with the other computers, thinking that they are enemies and they are trying to modify their own data. So they have some algorithms and some cryptography to have a consensus of the data. And yes, this technology, just without telling about Bitcoin, is the worst thing for carbon emission, because it's a bad idea for this kind of project. I will not discuss the economy of world, but talking about this kind of technologies, there are also used in some organizations. For example, I know I will talk about some organization that I know. For example, in Spain there is an association called Alastria, that's multiple enterprise has this technology. Also in Europe, this is technology called EBSI, European Blockchain Service Infrastructure. They have the same idea of several computers, several things, but they are already using this technology. So using the technology that already exists is like you don't have a lot of more contamination. You don't deploy this blockchain system in a new blockchain. No, you are using one already exists, and you with the idea of trying to don't pollute a little bit more. So I will not explain how it works. If anyone have any question, I already did a workshop, 10 workshop about blockchain, but this is my main research area. So this is what I really know, but I will not try to bore you about this technology. So in
it's someone who's expert in IT. In ICT, you have to understand the blockchain system and construction and so on.
Well, I know more or less how to explain this to people that is not very expert. Also, I am a professor of a master of blockchain, so I'm giving this technology some people in the University of Salamanca. but it's not a official master, it's like a course, big course, but nothing more. Well, what we take the idea of this is really the idea of the standard that we take this idea and move to blockchain. We have this kind of actor that we already talked about this, also the regulation talk about this, also in any market, carbon market, you know about certification scheme, certification body. The difference is the idea of the EU registry. We can talk only about registry, that in our case is the blockchain. Well, we have the idea is we have a tool using blockchain time, but you like if you are using the system, you don't really know that it's a blockchain. And if you want to be a certification scheme or certification body, you need to verify your account. So everybody with the idea of every entity can verify this, but who will accept your role? Something like a registry, something like government, something. It's important that it should be independent parties, entities, okay? So the idea is that the tool, the blockchain and so on will be some government or something like this raised. Well, we have the certification scheme in this case in our platform and with the blockchain system and uploading documents and so on. It can define the rules how to capture Cairo. Taking some methodologies. So in our tool we can list some methodologies. The operator it will be defined the project, how many it defines where is the project, what we will use to tell some stories, to put some photographs, also to get in a map where is the farm, for example, and how to capture the and with other tools that I will see, we can also measure this carbon. Then the certification body when the operator defines what methodology he will use over the years, because carbon credit is not generated in a second. These things are implemented and so on, this practice, then the certification body will certify if the project are following the steps of the methodology. So, following the rules defined by the certification scheme in the methodology, then the budget can buy these credits. And this every step is recorded. It's in a registry, so we can avoid some failures and so on. So we have all the traceability of all the things. What will be the benefits for this? Transparency and truth, because everything is recorded and you cannot modify it. So it's transparent and truth, yeah, because of the technology. It can defense it can help the fraud prevention and knowledge and protection is that you cannot sell the token twice because it's really well defined in the blockchain. Well, one of my always question, maybe we can talk now about this, maybe you don't know. That when I think in this kind of carbon markets, there are sometimes a lot of carbon markets. There are different tools. We have some law, we have I forget the Tucan and so on. For example, also, how can you avoid that one farmer put their project the field in two different current markets and sell twice the current credits. It will be an interesting question. I don't know the answer. You know?
For us, we developed an impact trace with a serial number for each carbon certified to a smallholder farm. So if this farm have a 10 ton, we have a 10 serial number that is counting and the transparency in our blockchain registry. And when we issue credit in term is sold, the serial is put here in this credit and according to double accounted if it's registered in the registry with a monthly.
Yeah, but what happens if the person puts the same field, the same practice in other tool?
So he goes,
Look,
and register.
Yeah, in other registry, what happened? Is we cannot do anything.
It's very difficult
Yeah.
because you already signed a contract with this system with the farmer, you always have a yearly monthly for him. And they think it's not easy to smallholder farmer to do that. Maybe in some places in big projects, in big deployments have experience, yes, there was a possibility to have such a issue. But when we speak about smallholder farmer and the group project, people, you always have a contact with them, have one thing, and they have a regular review, it's very difficult. They think to register it.
Yeah, yeah, it's very interesting because one of the problems that I find, because I already trying to continue this idea of carbon market is I thought about how to solve this. So one of the first things that I thought is maybe all the tools have one system to get all this data, and you can do a tool to monitor everything. But more of the tools, they don't have these public records, and they have some developments to avoid you to get the data. So it's like, because I think for me it's a concern about this, that maybe for local farmers or something very closer, but as you say, with some other big projects or other countries, maybe there can be a bad actor, like a bad farmer that try to sell the same project in 50 carbon markets. So yeah,
Excuse me, Diego, I think one solution of this problem could be the location of the farm itself. Once, for example, a small farm holder register or take this kind of certification with a certification body, so it is already known where this farm is located. So it can be, for example, if Ajit have a carbon market and Ahmed have another one, and I am located in Satan here, and I have been registered, let's say with Ajit, I cannot be registered with Ahmed because it will be the same farm, same location.
And
So
time,
it might-
time. You can also consider time.
And also the time is,
Yeah,
of course,
because one first year I can register with you, second year I can register with you.
yes, yes, also the time, yes.
yeah, but
It's just a suggestion.
you can solve this problem to solve in one carbon marketplace. But if some regulatory body checks you, it's okay, there is only one thing. But if you put your farm, your field in the same month, with the same data, in economy of law and in TUCAD, that I are working on your tool, how we can.
Yeah, so in this case.
Yeah, so then it will be a external agent, like a regulatory body or the police that's telling you are doing bad things. But because everything is important in all in all the markets, everything or more or less everything is recorded. So for some police, for example, it's very easy to verify that you are doing, but maybe if nobody detected. So yeah, just
Yeah, maybe, you know, when there will be a standard in the industry, maybe a regulatory body register every company and farmer with an identity ID. And they can register in every market, but later with this ID can check if they are trying to sell the same in different markets.
yeah, I think this is the idea of the current regulatory European framework that have a registry or several registries with shared data amongst European countries, but
Yeah.
it's European, it's not. That continue. Well, other benefits is decentralization, and you know that the data is not owned by one company that can manipulate it. And then it's liquidity, because not in this project, but you can also the easy way to work with blockchain and with the smart contracts is that you can put a lot of development to, for example, that the tokens can divide, that the token can burn and disappear. You can do a lot of types of development to help this. And the other is with some, this is one of the ideas that I think that maybe in the future it should be interesting for this kind of project, not now because we have the project operator thing, role, but in the future, I think all these kind of things will do with satellites and so on. So we'll measure, verify, verification, put in the record and give automatically the token. So in the future, this real-time data will help to. And this is the types of carbon credits that we define in the time. 10 minutes. Okay. This is the kind of credit that we pay in our platform. The idea of expected is we define the project, but we don't certify. We certify the credit. This is when the project and the certification body verifies that everything is correct. You can solve the credit credit, and when the moment is solved, the credit, people can start exchange and sell and buy and so on. Instead, when it's solved, it's retired. When it's retired, is that you use the token to, for example, for compensate some greenhouse emission for a company and so on, and you say, hey, I buy this to help to improve my process in my company. So you should retire the tokens. And the other thing is remove it because you have some, you create the project or there are some errors or maybe some human errors. So we have this extra status that because when you create a token in a blockchain, it cannot disappear. So it only changes the status. And we create the platform and just a little bit quickly with the idea of two kinds of views. One of them is just for people that is not very interested in the human person that is working in the project. They only want to, I want to buy a project. This has better price. I buy it and so on. We have the different status. And then we have the other view to have all this kind of see the image, see the story, see the process, see the verification, and so on. Also, we have this filter to keep the some of the project. I don't think it will work. You see, it's better and here. Also, in the details of a project, you can have description, all the status, all the data, you have this, you can also some information. Also, you will have linked methodology. Also, we have this tool that we build with SAE to have some data from also the field with a external application called the soil scanner. We can measure the soil organic carbon stock. They measure the percentage balance of soil, the sand, and everything. So with
This
this,
is a completely separate technology, right? I mean, this feeds data into.
yeah,
your system,
yeah, this.
Like the soil analysis in the lab.
Yes, this tool, the soil scanner, is development by site, so maybe I'm incorrect in some of the things. But if I don't remember well, I think they have a tool to monitoring some farm and some fields using.
But here you're adding data to your blockchain, but which you have not certified the code.
No, it's not 35. It's only to give you more information. It's for more stories. Stories about your project, but it's not 35. No, because we cannot. It should be an independent version. So this is we only do this to give more information, but it will not use it by this data shouldn't used by a certification body just for the buyer to see the things and so he can see the field within the map and he can see some of the measurements of the land. So this tool is using one database that have all the data from Copernicus, I think. And also mixed with another tool that have some fields of, I think, if I don't remember, is Europe and other countries. I'm not sure how this database is a big database.
Yes, available also for Africa.
Also,
Yes, of course.
yeah, but it's like two databases. It's one for Copernicus, another for the lands. The specific land.
Yeah, but the digital tool now, let's say, take the satellite image and then do some processing steps to be able to detect the soil organic carbon.
Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So what kind of special resolution the image taken from the Copernicus? Did you set it in the?
Oh, this part is developed by.
Yeah, it must be away from your spline.
I know that it's confusing here. Because all of a sudden you're bringing in a tool that has, let's say, not so well funded background here. And how is your blockchain user going to use it? First, I mean.
No,
I don't understand it, why it's confusing.
no. Here in the tool, so this is first of all is hidden. You need to click something to see it. It's not, and it's just an extra information for the buyer. To know some data.
Extra information but it does not add data to your computation of how much carbon credits there are.
No, it's only for to have some days that how the project is working, if the owner or if the buyer, to know how these monitoring tools are showing how the land is working and how is the improvements of the land. But for us, the problem with for example, BER and so on, that there is a lot of specific information with some formulas, with some measures, so on. So it's very difficult to have an interpretation of this data. So we think also we define this extra tool inside of the blockchain system. It's not blockchain again, so it's not related to blockchain, just to the project, to have more information about the project, just for information. It's not convincing you. Okay.
So if I understood well, this point, the tool will provide us with, let's say, a prediction of soil organic carbon in a specific location.
Yes.
So of course, we will try tomorrow, maybe or after lunch. I don't remember the agenda, but the point now is this tool is using some satellite image, let's say, to predict the soil organic carbon at a given time.
So
Then to make further calculations to calculate the carbon credit, how many.
This is operational, we can use it in all the five.
no, I think no, it's not working.
So,
It's not working as you say.
yeah,
Is two systems, one of satellite and one for land. And all these things is not, I think, is not for prediction. It's just a recompilation of data. So one of the tools is recopilating of the data each month or each, I'm not sure how, and they put in the database. And we are taking all this data from side system, that for me is I'm knowing what is inside, and put it here. So we have an API that is agnostic for us, what is inside, with all this data, but they are not predicting the data in the future.
So, but you're not feeding your blockchain calculation.
No.
From the satellite image data to compute how much carbon credits.
No, we are not using this. We cannot verify because
Okay, so that, then I'm happy with it, but then I'm not sure why we should, but never mind.
I think it's, what we are, sort of, the aim on the vision of the tool, it's meaning marking, verification and reporting. So for us, we are aims to find digital tools that we can using via this modeling and some input data to measure the dissolved carbon, to solving our issue of scaling. So this is what we see from the message of the digital tool, and that we are looking for this 2 years to have such tools to measure the carbon with the digital system.
But this one option we show, I raised this question. This, if we can predict this organic carbon, it can be given to the other living labs. Is it not operational, or it's solely valid for the Spanish?
we should talk with Sai, with Tristano and so on, and
Because
if
they have
they
experiments
want-
also, which
but
we can verify.
I think they have one of the digital tools that they have is similar to this. I think the one of Carlo. No,
It's not that market platform.
it's not related to the other.
Platform to representing only your product, but it's not supporting technical method.
It's only visualization.
Yeah, the idea is that you can see something visual when you can buy some project, but the problem is because I have this conversation before is we cannot verify in our own registry because we cannot give automatic tools to verify our projects because it should be a third party. This is why this tool is only because this tool is not following the methodology of a carbon scheme. So we cannot use it for the reason. So it's only giving more information, like because maybe you are a farmer, you have a project. This project is like 5 years to get all these steps to verify your project, and you need to follow in this step, but you don't have what is happening and is working and how much. So maybe with this tool you can see, okay, my project is going well, it's not, and also the people can see this project with the idea of the expected tokens and see, okay, this project, I think it will be good, but it will not be certified until a certification body take the methodology, take all the steps, and go to the field and measure the field and so on, and verify the project.
That data has to be compared to the satellite-based, to give you the feeling, oh yes, how's my project doing? If that is based on a satellite image, but the certification is based on soil samples, I mean, how are these two related? Huh? That's one of the big issues for our upscaling, that have calibration. I mean, on day one of this project, before it was even certainly signed by Prima, we had these discussions about certification of the satellite image data.
Yeah.
That was going to be very, very important.
I can give, if you want, I know a company in Italy, no, I think it's not Italy, the guy is Italian, but it's called, how is it called, Space for Good, that is working in this kind of tool. So they have their own satellites and they are working to monitoring the land, and they are working to measure the carbon, and they are also involved in some European projects and so on. But I'm not sure in what point are they the things that are concerning your concept. Okay.
In my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, we can debate. MRV is not true. MRV is a philosophy with which we do the carbon trading. Methodology. We can have a platform for MRV. And that platform can have three aspects. The whole idea here is that we are not doing interventions at one block, but we are doing interventions at the landscape scale. And then that landscape scale cannot be measured everywhere. Because of that, we do remote sensing or modeling. And that is the way in which we do the things in the monitoring part. Then we need to have a system in that platform where we have meticulous reporting. What is happening where and when, and who was doing and when. We have a verification for which we need data. For example, we need local observations using by in-person observations or by using instrumentation like helicovariance or something like that. So I think all these three systems make MRV, which will make the carbon market trust in your carbon credit. This is how I see MRV.
Okay, I have this question. Let's say I'm an investor and I want to invest into buying carbon. Read the story about Vera selling for millions of dollars the carbon credits that were not even there. Now, where are the key risks and uncertainties in this whole process? Huh?
There is a big market of Vera making undertable agreements with the company.
I want to see that one of our outcomes of the project is that we make a statement on where are the key risks and uncertainties. And is it better to go local, like let's say our Egypt-based carbon credit market and trading scheme, or do we really necessarily want to upscale our model that we have here in Egypt globally, and then we run into the same problem, you know? It becomes very expensive. You have problems with criminality and so on. So how could we define this as one of the outcomes of this project? Because we see that yes, we seek to would like to upscale our system, right? You want to go to Russia and to China and so on. But is that a good idea, yes or no? Right? I think it would be very good if we could, let's say, have a description of that we list the pros and cons of that.
we can say that, again, this is open to debate. We can say the current carbon market is topped up. Because somebody globally sets the standards, there's somebody globally sets the certification protocols, this Viva or Float standard, and then the whole world does the carbon trading based on that. But we can also think locally. But locally considering grassroots level stakeholders, farmers, etc., and we need to come up with a practical solution for the global south. And so the alternative solution is to maintain the similar standards as much as possible, but come up with a mechanism that Soraya has mentioned, and that can be applied, and that could be really practical and could make a real impact, rather than the other things are a little bit more theoretical and it is only valid for big investors, not for small investors. So if everybody wants to go in the sustainability track and invest in carbon credits, maybe grassroots level approach is the practical.
No, just to say that I totally agree with Regit regarding the things that MRV is an approach. I think we are all agree. And for what I know, there are different approaches. You can, for example, measure and remeasure. So you can do a soft sampling. Of course, this is very expensive at the beginning, time zero, and for example, from it depends on the protocol, from 5, 4, or 8 years to see if you have sequestered carbon. And of course, there are hybrid approach. It means you have to measure for sampling and use a model to see if you get this improvement, this for carbon sequestration. And what we have learned from, I can see from Andrea, that's one point. What is the point? Is that this should be cost effectiveness. So it means if you use the remote sensing and maybe proximity sensor like electric conductivity, you make a source sampling that costs less. And with the use of remote sensing, you can better scale up.
We have reserved, I think, the last afternoon, after lunch tomorrow. But then you will be here. In the program, we said, let's have 1 hour on this discussion, the MRV methodology. Because we would like to have an outcome of the project that we make a statement, you know. And like they were saying, already if we describe the difference between a point location measurement, which is 100% correct, but it's completely useless to extrapolate because of the variability. And how do you compare that to a satellite image, which is by definition an average of an area, and but it's less accurate. So how do we go about that? If we could come up tomorrow in the last hour, maybe with that, or
Yeah, tomorrow, I think it's got to be.
so you have to log in remotely.
Of course, I will try to be, yeah. Now, what hour will be discussion in the afternoon? I think, okay, I will be.
You will be there.
Yeah.
So quickly,
So sorry, for all the interruptions.
yeah, no, the problem is Carla have an agenda. Very much. One of the tasks of the project on this ledger framework with blockchain is add some external sources to the system. So we also need to do this for finish the project. Maybe it's not the best idea, like you say, but it was one of the objectives of the project. So we already did. If in the future someone wants to add this and it's not a good idea, we can, because the thing of the map is also voluntary, so you can create a project and then use this tool. Quickly, because Carla Secondly, we have also the idea of defining other methodologies with all the information. Here is one of the ideas, one of the methodologies of BERA for agricultural management. So the idea is that certification scheme can use, register, and put the methodologies here. So maybe using this tool for other little communities or countries and so on, and take a big. Also, a tool, extra tool that maybe gives more information to the project with all the traceability that you want to. For example, if you have some devices and you want how much water, how much water rain is during every day, or humidity, or what you want. If you have devices, you can also put the things. It's also another task related to the system, so we integrate to the platform, but I'm not very comfortable with the idea to put in the project. I like the idea of have this kind of tools, but maybe outside the platform. And also, I just to finish, also if you to give more information now, I read a lot of that people working in this kind of credits, that real is a kind of credit, but with extra extra benefits or extra environmental impact, for example, soil health, water conservation, protection of some species, and so on. So the idea is that your project not only use this practice, so helps to nature, help the soil, and so on. And also, I know people that are working in this moment to create, for example, water tokens that is not real carbon tokens, but with the idea of water conservation and all these things. So people is like moving this idea of carbon credits to other things. But the real idea of the biodiversity credits is carbon credits plus other benefits for the project. And that's all. There is no good question because there is no time.